This is the head gasket. It's split between...
I also own a farm.
Here we go. You're now watching the 2024 season of Farming with Duffy Ag.
I wasn't gonna film much of this because I'm just frustrated, but I figured to keep it real and because you guys will know. So, head gasket started leaking yesterday, and pressure in the radiator, which I don't think is why we had a radiator issue before. It could have been, but I think it was just a weak place there. It was building pressure in the cooling system and then started leaking out the side. And we could have run today, but honestly, I want that truck perfect for when we have consistent running aggressively. Today they were figuring half day. They're down trucks. I'm not the only one that's down right now. So, yeah. But, alrighty. This morning I got there 6 o'clock. Ripped the head off in about 2 hours. So we left at 8, just after 8, no, just about 8 o'clock, we were done. Made it up to Global, got a gasket kit, got some hardware, turbo hardware, stuff like that. Turbo gasket, because that was leaking, new manifolds, gaskets, the micro switch for the silage truck to make the dynatards shut off when you're off the throttle, on the throttle. I forget. Yeah, one of them. I don't remember. So we got all that stuff. I called them up and yep, we got it. So what ended up happening, because I want to torque those head bolts to see exactly where they were. We ran it and retorqued it. It did not have enough load on it to really seat everything in. And now that we're running, it made an issue and it blew out the head gasket. So the head gasket's got some spots and stuff like that, and it wasn't as tight as it should have been. So honestly, he said some of those motors, you really got to work them hard and then go recheck everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw it in, and if we get it back together by the end of the day and they're still hauling, we'll go haul a few loads, and then tomorrow we'll run. I think it's more likely going to be tomorrow we're going to run, and then we're going to recheck everything, because manifold bolts were all somewhat loose. They weren't as tight as they were. He did give me copper or brass lock nut ones, so he said they work a lot better than the ones that were on it. So this was a live and learn, and I'm not saying I'm good at wrenching or I'm bad, and I do listen to people, but it is learning in life of how to do it. I do appreciate everybody that gives me input on it, that knows something about it. So we'll get it right, and we'll get that truck 100% running where it's supposed to be. He did have an E7 that they converted to mechanical compared to electronic. That was going to drop in place of an E6. 500 horsepower all day long. Run like anything. I told him someday when I get a truck with AC, more legs underneath it, stretched out a little bit more, an R model, that would be the goal. He only wants, well, it's going in a truck, and it was $38,000 for the motor, so yeah, keep the wheels rolling, and someday we'll get to that point where we got some cool stuff like that. But really appreciate them there. I guess some people have stopped in and said they saw their trucks, or they've seen it on YouTube and whatnot, and I guess I had parts sitting there, and they recognized my name, so it makes for a small world. You guys are awesome. But alrighty, I'm gonna jump back, probably throw it together quick without filming anything, because every time I pick up a camera it does slow my day down. But yeah, and you guys have already seen me put it together. The thing we didn't do properly is really run it. And now that we're hauling sand manure and it's got some weight, we're right there at the weight limit of the truck and whatnot, the legal weight limit. So yeah, it needed a good rundown and then retorqued, and I should have thought about it and went back in after and really retorqued it again, but something that slipped my mind. So things we know for the future when we mess around with other stuff. Hopefully we won't have to do much with this truck in the near future, but yeah, it'll get there. So we spent $300, I think, between all of the gaskets, stuff for the other truck, a clamp, hardware. It is part of it, so. Alrighty, and Yanko got treats, so it was all worth that. But we're gonna jump back, got about 2-hour ride, and then we'll be good to go. I think I got it to a good spot, got it retorqued. So what we're gonna have to do is run it, then you gotta pull the rockers back off to get to everything. And then you gotta readjust it. So I adjusted everything, fuel's all on. It's not all hooked up, clearly. So I wanna crank it over and just listen to how it sounds with no fuel going to it. And then we will put, well, I gotta tighten that down, which is kind of a pain because it's in the way. These aren't actually in the way, which is good. It was rubbing against each other back here. So when we get this put back together, we gotta make sure that's not rubbing. I don't like that that's sitting there dripping out. There we go. It's just sitting on the top. I couldn't wipe it off. Okay, we got a clamp to go here and there's up here, but we can give it a go and just see how it sounds. Yeah, we should point this somewhere else other than into the radiator. We'll put it right there. Sounds healthy. Sounds very healthy. Okay, I don't want the rest of the stuff to fall off. Okay, we got the radiator cap off so we can see in. Watch it fill. We're gonna have to get some more water, but I guess we're gonna find out what time. I'm gonna go up and get some more water. I used up my coolant and some of my water. Well, I used up my water, but I could use some more water. And yeah, pickups. So this is the head gasket. It's split between right here's got a gap. Right, well, that might have been from me pulling it out, but there was one. Yeah, you can just see it would have been coming out of here. So it's lifted or something. I forget where it is. I'm hoping that's all it is. But let me go grab some water out of the parlor. Fired up really, really well. He's had enough of today. He didn't even get to see anybody and partied up. So we got everything back together. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna do an oil change tomorrow morning. That way I'm positive I don't have any coolant in the oil. Taking the head off, there's possibility that coolant drained into it, since it was from the head down, or head up was drained somewhere. So yeah, we got it somewhat together. Hopefully we'll be okay. And then after running tomorrow, I know it's only supposed to be an hour, but I'm thinking that we do a lot of, it's not like we run constantly for an hour. So we'll put it under a load on and off all tomorrow, and then we will pull the valve cover off and yeah, still got this stuff. So we're going somewhere where we don't have any sand, so it should be pretty good. I gotta remember to bring a pry bar tomorrow. We'll do that. But alrighty, I'm gonna go grab some tacos on my way home because it is Taco Tuesday, and I think there's a big giant blur spot on the camera, so I'm sorry, but we'll just roll this one into tomorrow's video. I did get the last of the tacos. Yanko had one. We're drying out a little bit, which is nice. The calves are a little hesitant of doing anything in here. I can't blame them, but they were standing at the gate like they wanted to come back in. So I fixed the fence up, and yeah, we actually got our factor box. So we still are doing factor, and I've really enjoyed it because, well, if I didn't have tacos, I'd be eating one of them in 2 minutes. It's really convenient. So there is a link down below for the factor. It helps out the channel, and you get a great meal. But I am probably going to kick them back in once I get ready for bed. Well, I'm going to edit video. Tried to get ahead of a few videos for you guys. It's 7:30 right now, and we'll probably be up at 3:30. And then when we leave, I'll open the gate back up, because you can see, I don't know if you can actually, yeah, you see how it's browner over there, not as green. That's where they've grazed, and they do an amazing job. So they're my lawnmowers. We are still working on the lawnmowers, so yeah, we're getting parts at some point. And a gentleman's actually giving us a hand, so I'm excited for that. I have seen people, I messed that up right there with the driveway, but I'm thinking we got to widen some stuff out, make it a little bit better. But I'm amazed at how quickly things are drying out, which is good for us, because hopefully we'll be caught up on some manure hauling. We'll get some done locally for some guys, and then we can start diving into some ground. But alrighty, I'll see you guys in the morning. They are so peaceful out there. So hopefully, I had 4 broken or bent temporary fences, standards. So I love it. So nice to actually come home to them. So we're back. So Jordan just left with the one truck. He's gonna go grab the trailer because another truck is down and stuff like that. We're over here at Welcome Stock. Yesterday we put a new head gasket in this, and it was a party. Live and learn. They've been pumping out the last bit that they have in this pit, and then they'll dig it out. I take it. So a little sand manure action. We are going over to King's again. The boat is not going in the water, and we're pretty much pumping. We are pumping liquid due to they have a separator and they bed with sand, and they reuse their sand. So the boat went in last time, and we moved a lot of manure. So hopefully that will flush all of our tanks out. But I'm just gonna give this an oil change quick, because I don't want any issues at all of coolant that might have went down in the oil. Okay, so let's see if there's coolant being the very bottom. No, that actually looks pretty good. We pumped out of this pit before. They are putting water back into this pit. We are coming out of the middle right now. And then the last pit is what they flush out of, since the barns are flush burners. Nothing's leaking on the truck. It looks good. It got temp. So we got a 8-inch pump, and the Moore Brothers pump is over there. I don't know if that's our long-term goal or what we're gonna do. 4430. We've used this before. New barn. It's pretty wild. That is a big barn. I find it a little ridiculous. I'm behind a bus pulling a hill, and I know they're going to stop again, so no point in going aggressively up to the next stop. But they sit and wait for the kids to come out of the house. If we were standing out front when we were kids, the bus left. It didn't even stop. So wild culture. Yep, it's stopping up there. So they wrapped up this 60-acre field here for Barber Bros. They had some sand in the frac tank. That's what the big wet spot out front here is. And then moved down the road. So yeah, I wish I could have wrapped up there, but we had to focus on the truck so that we could keep running for a long time. So it is what it is at that rate. I wish this bus would get moving. Well, we're going into the left there. Frac tank's pointed right into the field. They got hose laid out, and I take it we got both King trucks, and then 2 of the Moore trucks. I don't know if Buzzy's here today, and myself. So we got a low power line on the left and a post. So. Making moves with spreader trailer and a tender. Quick to set up. So gentleman just stopped. Kurt, called him Spanky. His nickname's Spanky. And he dropped off a whole bag of tennis balls. So retired truck driver that works around locally here and saw we were running up here and figured Yanko needed some stuff. I'm not gonna say no to that. Yanko absolutely loves it. So he's got one there. Nick's back hauling with us in the Morris truck. He broke a leaf spring the other day on his truck, so yeah, always something, right? You wanna bring that ball with? Bring it with. No, bring the ball. This is how you lose tennis balls. Ball, get the ball. All right, load up. Hey, they're all the same. It has been a very uneventful day. Yeah, we've been busy, cruising right along, but at the end of it, it's just boring. So, we're loading with an 8-inch pump compared to the 12, so we are actually catching each other at the load stands at the pit. But the town, I believe it's the town. They're cutting down dead trees, so we get held up there every now and then, but they've been pretty good to us, letting us get around and whatnot. I'll see if they're there next time. They all wave, so jolly people, and it's their job. But I caught this diller at that, so we're tied up together. That's all part of moving manure around people and whatnot, right, bud? You haven't played with your tennis balls yet. There's one down there. I even made it so you could lay down there if you wanted, but you like your air ride seat, right? Is there a little bit of air in it? Yeah. But it's in a weird spot. Last load, and I think Jordan had to go somewhere, so we were down to 3 trucks, which then they're sitting inefficient out there. So we'll wrap that field up tomorrow, and I think we're moving closer to the farm. I'm not really sure actually, but quick 10 hours in. I was gonna do the retorque tonight, but I'm gonna let everything cool down. Yeah, instead of standing next to a manifold and burn my arms. So we'll head home. We got plenty of things to do, and then we'll beat some traffic. I also forgot all day that I had the peach rings from Tractor Supply, which are absolutely fantastic. Got them yesterday, and I put them in here this morning, and then I forgot. So I stopped at, well, I went to McDonald's, which I don't eat McDonald's other than their breakfast. And even that, it's very rare. I do like their hash brown. And they were closed this morning. So they don't open till 6, and on their website it says they open 5 there. So I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and honestly it was the quickest Dunkin' Donuts I've ever had, and absolutely everything was on point. Bacon, egg, and cheese, ham and Swiss wrap thingy, and some hash browns, and it was on point. Usually hash browns are hit or miss, and bacon, egg, and cheese is like on a croissant. Well, I still got to figure out how to put a microwave in here, or bring a microwave with me or something. I know the hot boxes work very well, because I would definitely do some things up. Like having the factor meals would be awesome. Somebody did mention how they're not big portions. Yeah, as Americans, our portions are huge, and we should not eat that much. You go to any other country, and their portions are a lot smaller, and their people are a lot healthier. So, like when I was in New Zealand, it was smaller portions. I think I weighed 160 pounds or something when I left New Zealand. I weighed a little bit more in the U.S. because, well, I was leaving college, so you know, calories and beer. But yeah, smaller portions. I came back, I was fit. Since then, not so fit, not so healthy. I did a lot of walking with cows and fencing and stuff like that when I was in New Zealand. So, granted, that was 9 years ago. We will get it opened up. They're pumping the liquid out. Neil was explaining to me this actually has a slope going that way, so water stays over there and it should come the other way. But what he does is digs it out and stockpiles it, and landscaper actually purchases it from him and utilizes it. So sandier material with some manure in it, grows pretty good. We've literally made it almost all day without being soaked, so we got it. I still have some sand in here, so we might have to utilize that fire truck again to get some of it out. But this liquidier stuff is awesome for cleaning that out. So it's got a lot more foam because there's not as much solids in it. Picked up some goodies, and we're coming back through Canjo here, and they're done with the beach knot factory. It's all gone. So parking, stores, and apartments, I believe, is what they're gonna put in here. That's what I believe, at least. Made it home. We actually got more hats in stock, so I got to throw them up on the page. That was what the goodies were. Have somebody locally that can embroider, well, stitch hats. So we were out of large XL hats. Now we're back in stock, so they should be on the site. Yeah, we're getting better at having local stuff. So it was unfortunate that we had the head gasket issue. Did a lot of learning, and I should have caught the signs previously. I think that might have been some of our radiator issue. But as the guys at Global said, it happens. And sometimes they're tough to seat in, and you got to recheck them. So that's our plan. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.